While you were sleeping, Archangel Michael blocked a spiritual attack that was meant to break you. God says, you survived for a reason. Your story is not over yet. My beloved one, there was a moment, while you were asleep, when the unseen realm trembled. Heaven itself moved in silence, because something dark was sent your way. A force that wanted to break your peace, your strength, your very faith. But before it could even touch you, Archangel Michael stood between you and the storm. His sword of divine fire clashed against the shadows that tried to reach your spirit. You had no idea what was happening, but heaven did. As you slept, a battle was fought over your destiny. The enemy whispered that you were too weak, that your light was fading. But God said, not this one. Not my child. And Michael obeyed. The attack was blocked, the plan reversed, and your name was covered under divine protection. You were chosen, not forgotten. Even now, there's a reason you're hearing this. You might feel weary, confused, or wondering why life has felt so heavy lately. But the truth is, you're still here because your story has not reached its ending. Every sleepless night, every tear, every silent prayer had been seen by heaven. You didn't survive by luck. You survived because grace stood guard at your door. Listen carefully. Archangel Michael is still near you. You may have sensed sudden peace after a long night of restlessness, or felt warmth where fear once lived. That was not random. That was a sign. God's hand shielded you from a spiritual strike meant to delay your purpose. But instead of falling, you are now being lifted into a new chapter of divine strength. The angels have written your name in light, declaring, this one shall rise again. Your testimony is not over. Your pain was not in vain. What was meant to destroy you has now become the reason you will be promoted. Before you scroll, pause for a moment, because what's coming next will confirm everything your spirit has been feeling lately. Type I am covered by heaven in the comments if this message reaches your soul. Blessing code 1444 is now activated. Dearest heart, when dawn broke this morning, the light you saw wasn't just the sun. It was proof that you made it through a night of unseen warfare. The darkness that tried to reach you was ancient, strategic, and determined to silence your spirit. But Archangel Michael stood at your threshold, wings stretched wide, commanding a host of heavenly warriors. Their radiance split through the dark veil, dismantling every curse, silencing every whisper that declared you would not rise again. You slept through it, unaware that the air around you had become a battlefield. The moment the enemy launched his strike, heaven intervened, and your name was spoken with divine authority. There is a reason you have been feeling the weight of invisible pressure lately. Not because you're weak, but because your spirit carries light that threatens darkness. The closer you get to breakthrough, the more intense the opposition becomes. But Archangel Michael has seen your endurance, your prayers whispered through tears, your courage to keep believing even when your world felt silent. And he has declared over you, enough. The attack ends here. That is why, though the enemy formed the weapon, it did not prosper. The storm was real, but so was your protection. God says, you survived for a reason. The reason is bigger than your fear, bigger than your past, and deeper than your pain. There is still a mission assigned to your life that only you can fulfill. You are not just alive, you are appointed. Every battle you faced has been refining you for something higher. What looked like destruction was actually training. What felt like delay was divine preparation. And the moment you thought you were losing, heaven was actually building your victory. The dream you thought died is still breathing in the spirit. Archangel Michael is ensuring that no dark hand can steal what God promised you. The very place of your suffering will become the ground of your testimony. You will walk into rooms you once thought were closed, and you will see favor unfold where rejection once stood. The attack you didn't see was meant to break your faith, but it has only made your light shine brighter. Wait for what comes next, because the next revelation will uncover why this specific attack was sent against you and what God is about to release in its place. Trust me, you'll want to hear this part. Type "I am unbreakable" in the comments if this message resonates with your soul. Blessing code 2299 is now released. Beloved warrior of light, there is something you need to understand. That spiritual attack was not random. It was carefully designed to stop you right before a divine turning point. Every time a soul stands on the edge of breakthrough, darkness launches one last desperate strike. That is what happened while you were asleep. The enemy saw the door about to open for you. The opportunity, the healing, the restoration, and he panicked. His aim was not your body, it was your belief. He wanted to make you doubt the voice of God. But he underestimated the power of divine protection and the authority of Archangel Michael, who had been appointed as the guardian of destiny for those chosen by heaven. In that midnight hour, Michael descended not with a whisper but with a command. The fire of heaven met the cold breath of the adversary, and your name was declared sacred ground. Every force that tried to touch your peace was scattered into confusion. Even now, the residue of that victory lingers around you. The sudden sense of calm after chaos, the strange burst of energy when you expected exhaustion, the unexpected favor where rejection once lived. These are not coincidences. They are signs that you have crossed into a higher level of divine covering. God is saying, "You survived because I am not finished with you." What you lost will not be wasted, and what was delayed will soon be delivered in greater measure. You may have thought this was just another season of pain, but heaven saw it as the refining fire that would make you unshakable. Your tears were counted, your prayers recorded, and your endurance remembered. And now, your life is about to echo with restoration, not just in one area, but in every place that the enemy once tried to claim. The Spirit reveals that this new chapter carries divine acceleration. What used to take years will now unfold quickly. The tables are turning in silence, but soon the shift will be loud. Archangel Michael stands guard, not just as a warrior, but as a witness, testifying in the courts of heaven that you did not surrender when you had every reason to. The testimony is unlocking new doors of favor, protection, and purpose. Hold on, because what you're about to hear next will uncover the prophecy written over your survival, the very reason why the attack came now, and what is waiting on the other side of your obedience. This is where heaven begins to reveal its mystery. Type "I survived for a reason" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this message. Blessing code 3301 is now active. Before you move ahead, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and comment your confirmation below. Let this light reach the world and awaken every soul still trapped in darkness. And if this message has stirred your spirit, I want to speak to those who feel led to stand with this mission. When you give, you don't just support a channel. You ignite a flame that reaches souls across nations. Every seed you sow becomes a sword of light in the hands of heaven. Just as Archangel Michael fought for you, your giving fights for others still in spiritual battle. I am inviting you, from spirit to spirit, become a part of this divine movement. God says those who water others shall themselves be watered. This is your moment to release light into the darkness. Support through Super Thanks, membership, or through PayPal. The link is in the description below. When you give, may the oil of divine favor overflow into your home, your health, and your heart. Blessing code 3301 remains sealed over every giver and listener under the sound of this word. Precious soul, there is a mystery behind your survival that heaven is now unveiling. You were not spared merely to continue as before. You were preserved because your spirit carries an assignment that must be fulfilled in this generation. The night that Archangel Michael stood beside your bed, he wasn't just defending you. He was also marking you. In the unseen realm, a seal was placed upon your life, a divine signature declaring that your purpose cannot be stolen, no matter how violent the storm becomes. The attack that was meant to destroy you has now become the evidence of your calling. The enemy only fights what threatens him, and your light has been blinding the forces that once ruled your atmosphere. As you slept, God whispered your name into eternity again, saying, "This one will carry my message of endurance." You have been chosen not because you were perfect, but because you refused to surrender your hope. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every closed door was shaping the humility and strength required for this next move. You won Parliament, it was preparation. Heaven does not waste pain. Even your moments of silence, when you wondered if God had left you, were seasons of divine training, where your spirit learned to recognize the sound of truth beyond fear. Archangel Michael saw that the attack against you was not just emotional or physical, it was strategic. It targeted your belief, your peace, and your purpose. The goal was to disconnect you from heaven's timing. But when God said, "Enough," everything that opposed you lost its authority. That is why some situations suddenly fell apart. They were no longer permitted to remain in your story. The removal was protection disguised as loss. Heaven was clearing the path for something you cannot yet see, something sacred, destined, and filled with glory. Right now, the Spirit of the Lord is saying that you are walking into a period of awakening. Old chains are breaking, and divine connections are aligning. What used to confuse you will suddenly make sense. What used to scare you will now empower you. You will begin to sense divine timing aligning with precision. The same angels that fought for you are now preparing the ground for your restoration. The attacks of the past season have expired, and a new covenant of protection has been established. So, do not mourn the night that almost broke you. Celebrate it, because that night proved you are unstoppable. It proved that heaven is invested in your destiny. It proved that even in your weakness, divine strength was alive within you. The enemy failed to realize that the more he strikes, the stronger your roots grow in God's soil. Your survival is your prophecy, and your victory will soon become your testimony. Keep your heart open, for the next revelation will uncover what Archangel Michael is about to release into your path. Something extraordinary, something that will confirm every hidden promise you've been holding onto. Trust me, you'll want to hear what happens next. Type "I am marked for purpose" in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this word. Blessing code 4410 has just been released. Beloved child of destiny, when heaven decides that your time has come, nothing in the unseen or physical realm can stop it. The same night Archangel Michael blocked that spiritual attack, a shift began to occur in the blueprint of your life. You might not have seen it yet, but the atmosphere around you has changed. Doors that were once closed are beginning to unlock, even if you don't realize it. There is a quiet rearrangement taking place. Divine hands moving pieces you didn't know existed. God is not only protecting you, He is positioning you. And that is why the enemy grew restless. He sensed your next chapter drawing near, and he tried one last time to prevent it. You see, what you call delay, heaven calls development. Every disappointment you've walked through was designed to strengthen your discernment. The people who left you, the opportunities that slip away, the silence you endured. All of it was part of God's divine choreography. You were never abandoned. You were being trained to trust without proof. The survival of your spirit through those nights of pain was a proof of divine investment in you. Archangel Michael's intervention wasn't just about saving you from harm. It was about reminding every dark power that your purpose is sealed. The one who commands the heavenly armies has declared your name untouchable. And yet, many still wonder why the attack happened at all. Why would God allow His chosen one to face such warfare? The truth is this: destiny always attracts resistance. The higher the calling, the greater the opposition. Light never goes unnoticed by darkness. But when heaven allows a storm, it is never to destroy, it is to reveal. You learn through this battle who truly stands beside you, who prays for you, who believes in you, and who vanishes when the fire rises. You learn to see with spiritual eyes. And now, what was meant to break you has only awakened the warrior within you. God's message for you now is clear. You are no longer a survivor. You are a carrier of victory. Your life is shifting from endurance to influence. The same power that protected you will now begin to work through you. You will find yourself speaking with unexpected wisdom, walking with renewed courage, and sensing angelic presence in moments of quiet stillness. The fire that once burned around you is now burning within you, cleansing your doubts and igniting your divine authority. Archangel Michael is not done. He is preparing to open a pathway of opportunity that has been held up for years. There's something extraordinary about to unfold, something so precise that it will confirm every word God has spoken over your life. So do not look at the delay as denial. It was the divine pause before acceleration. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment, and the next revelation will show how heaven plans to manifest what was once only promised. Stay with me, because the secret that's about to be unveiled will make everything you've endured suddenly make sense. Type "I am positioned by heaven" in the comments if your heart knows this word is for you. Blessing code 5522 is now active and releasing divine movement into your path. Chosen one, there comes a moment in every divine journey when heaven allows the veil to lift, when what was once mystery becomes revelation. You have reached that moment now. The reason Archangel Michael fought for you that night was not only to protect you, but to prevent the enemy from hijacking your next divine assignment. There was a specific release scheduled in your destiny's timeline, a breakthrough that had the power to shift not only your life, but also the lives of those connected to you. That is why the attack came with such intensity. The darkness tried to block the transmission, to silence your spiritual frequency before you could receive what heaven had sent. Yet Michael, the warrior of divine justice, intercepted the assault and restored your timeline. Understand this: there are moments when battles you never see decide blessings you are about to hold. While your body slept, your spirit was being defended in the courts of heaven. Every accusation against your destiny was met by divine evidence of your endurance, your faith, and your repentance. Michael stood as a witness of your persistence, saying, "This one still believes." And that declaration shifted the outcome. Because of that intervention, you are walking in a grace you didn't earn but were chosen to receive. You are alive today not by chance but by covenant. The enemy's attack was meant to crush your identity, to make you doubt who you are in God. You wanted to bury your confidence beneath exhaustion, fear, and shame. But God has turned the tables. The same storm that was meant to bury you became the ground where your roots went deeper. Your identity is being restored, your mind renewed, your spiritual senses sharpened. That's why lately you have been sensing change, an inner stirring, a restlessness you can't explain. It's not anxiety, It's awakening. The spirit within you is recognizing a new season calling your name. And in this new season, favor will begin to locate you effortlessly. Where you once had to chase, things will now come to you. People will start to remember your name. Doors will open without explanation, and solutions will appear before the problems even fully manifest. This is the reward of divine protection. Archangel Michael did not only defend you, he also cleared the atmosphere around your purpose. Every curse that was spoken, every plan that was formed, every hidden agenda that sought to delay you, all of it has been overturned by divine authority. Now heaven is saying, step forward without fear. You are no longer the same person who entered that battle. You carry wisdom, resilience, and a mantle of divine favor. You have crossed a line in the spirit where the enemy can no longer touch what belongs to you. From this point on, even your silence will carry power. Even your presence will shift rooms. The light upon you has been recognized in the unseen, and no darkness can undo what heaven has sealed. Stay close to this message, because what unfolds next will reveal the exact sign that confirms Archangel Michael's continued presence in your life. What you are about to hear will prepare you to recognize the evidence of this victory in your waking world. You will not just know you are protected, you will see it with your own eyes. Type "I am untouchable" by darkness in the comments if you receive this divine revelation. Blessing code 6611 has now been released and sealed over your destiny. Dearest one of divine endurance, you are walking into a sacred moment in the timeline of your destiny. The unseen victory that took place while you slept is now beginning to manifest in the physical realm. The air around you feels different, doesn't it? There's a subtle calm that wasn't there before, a quiet strength rising from within. That is the aftermath of heaven's intervention. When Archangel Michael blocked the attack that was meant to destroy you, he didn't simply protect your life, he altered the course of your future. What could have ended you has instead elevated you. Every step you take now carries the echo of divine defense. The same angels that fought through the night are now walking beside you, ensuring that nothing can interfere with the restoration that is unfolding. The Spirit of God is saying, this is your awakening season. You are about to witness how divine reversal truly works. What was stolen will be returned multiplied. What was delayed will accelerate with unusual speed. The people who doubted you will soon watch the very hand of God lift you higher than they imagined possible. You may have thought your purpose was lost, but heaven kept it preserved. The attack only proved how valuable your calling is. God never allows a battle unless the victory carries weight. The night was dark, yes, but dawn has come, and with it, a revelation of who you really are. There is something powerful stirring within you, a remembrance of identity. You are not the broken one. You are the chosen one. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not fighting alone. You are surrounded by divine light. The heaviness that has followed you these last few weeks is not a sign of defeat. It is the residue of the war you already won. You feel tired not because you're losing, but because you're shifting dimensions in spirit. The frequency of your life is changing. You are moving from survival into divine authority. And now, Archangel Michael stands ready to guide you toward your next instruction. He is preparing to reveal signs that will confirm this message, patterns in your days that will remind you heaven is still fighting for you. You may start noticing repeating numbers, unusual peace in moments of chaos, or encounters that feel divinely orchestrated. These are confirmations that you are walking in supernatural covering. Every time you sense fear rising again, remember this. The same night you were attacked was the night you were also announced in heaven as unbreakable. The Lord is saying, you survived because your assignment is needed. Your words will heal. Your story will inspire. Your endurance will awaken others. What the enemy tried to silence will now become a sound that shakes the darkness. The moment you share what you have overcome, chains will begin to break around others. This is how heaven redeems the battle, by turning pain into power. Stay with this message a little longer, because the next revelation will uncover what Archangel Michael is preparing to release into your environment. A breakthrough that will not only bless you but everyone connected to your obedience. Type "I walk under divine authority" in the comments if you feel heaven confirming this word within you. Blessing code 7703 is now active and radiating protection around your spirit. Beloved vessel of divine light, heaven is shifting again, and your spirit can already sense the movement. The same Archangel Michael who stood guard over you in the night is now standing before you in the light of day. His presence is not distant. It surrounds you like an unseen shield. Every whisper of doubt that once echoed in your mind is being replaced by divine clarity. The attack you endured was meant to stop your forward motion, but instead it has activated a greater level of spiritual authority within you. You no longer walk as one trying to survive. You walk as one destined to command light. God has chosen this precise moment to show you that you are no longer under siege. You are stepping into divine strategy. Here's something remarkable about divine timing. What you thought was lost time was actually preparation. The reason you've been kept waiting is because heaven needed you to mature into the version of yourself capable of carrying the next anointing. You can feel it, can't you? The restlessness inside you is not confusion. It's calling. The spiritual resistance you felt lately is a final sign that you are close to fulfillment. Every great shift comes with turbulence. Every divine assignment begins with warfare. Archangel Michael's intervention marked the closing of an old chapter and the birth of a new one. You have been reborn through the fire of battle, and now you will walk in unshakable confidence. God says, "What I spared will now speak." You survive not only for yourself, but for the generations that will rise after you. Your life is a living prophecy of endurance. Heaven has chosen to turn your pain into a pattern of breakthrough. When people see you, they will see what divine protection looks like. That's why you cannot shrink back now. You must step forward, speak boldly, and carry the light without apology. Every word you release in faith will carry the residue of that midnight victory. You will no longer beg for doors to open. Doors will respond to your presence. The angels have begun to orchestrate divine encounters. Expect unexpected favor, timely messages, and connections that seem too precise to be coincidence. These are not random. They are assignments from heaven. Archangel Michael has been dispatched ahead of you, clearing the path for what is about to unfold. What used to intimidate you will soon recognize the authority within you. And the very people who underestimated your silence will witness the roar of your rebirth. Before you move to the next revelation, I want you to pause and claim this moment. You are standing in a sacred intersection between who you were and who you are becoming. The next part of this message will reveal the prophetic sign heaven will show you as confirmation that the warfare is over and your season of rebuilding has begun. Hold your faith close, because what comes next will stir your spirit to its core. Type "I am walking in my rebirth" in the comments if your heart recognizes this truth. Blessing code 8844 has now been released and will mark your next 7 days with visible favor. Now, before you step away, help this message reach those who need it most. Like this video, share it with a soul who feels forgotten, and let your comment be a beacon of hope to others. Subscribe and stay connected so that heaven's messages can keep finding you in divine timing. And if this word has moved your spirit, I want to speak directly to those who feel led to become a part of this mission. This isn't just about supporting content. This is about sowing into souls. Every act of giving becomes a light sent into darkness. When you bless this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, the link is in the description. You become a partner in the divine work that is awakening hearts across nations. God says, "Those who lift my word shall be lifted themselves." Your seed becomes the fire that fuels transformation in unseen places. You're not donating. You're declaring. You're planting faith into fertile ground. May every giver who stands with heaven's cause be covered with the oil of increase, peace, and supernatural restoration. Blessing code 8844 remains sealed over every supporter and listener who acts in faith under this prophetic word. Beloved child of the Eternal One, the time has come for your eyes to see what your faith has long carried. You have stepped beyond the night of warfare into the dawn of unveiling. The same Archangel Michael who fought in silence while you slept is now positioning you to witness the evidence of victory with your own eyes. Nothing in your life have been wasted, not one tear, not one sleepless night, not one unanswered question. Every pain you endured was secretly preparing the ground for divine manifestation. You were not forgotten in the waiting. You were being woven into the rhythm of God's timing. What felt like stillness was actually acceleration in the unseen. This is the hour when promises begin to take shape. You will start to notice alignment in small details, conversations that lead to unexpected opportunity, ideas that appear in stillness and suddenly open new doors, people showing up at the perfect time with the exact help you prayed for. This is the hand of heaven moving in rhythm with your obedience. The atmosphere around you is no longer hostile, it is fertile. Where confusion once clouded your spirit, clarity will now flow like living water. The same angelic presence that once defended you is now ushering you into purpose. Archangel Michael is no longer fighting off darkness on your behalf. He is now walking beside you as a commander of transition, guiding you toward manifestation. God is whispering, "Now you will see why you survive. You will understand why you were delayed, why you were hidden, and why you had to be separated from certain people." Heaven was protecting the purity of your calling. Every closed door, every denied opportunity, was a safeguard against premature exposure. The light you carried now could not have survived if released too soon. You were being refined for endurance, tested for trust, and molded for influence. And now, your faith is mature enough to hold what God has been preparing. Do not mistake the quiet of this moment for absence. The silence you feel is the sound of divine construction. Heaven builds in stillness. You are standing in the foundation of something new, a relationship, a purpose, a platform, a voice that is being secured by God's own hands. The warfare was simply the proof of what's being built. You were attacked because you were about to become visible. The more significant your assignment, the more intense the resistance before it emerges. You are now being called to carry light where there has been despair. Your words will pierce through confusion and awaken others to truth. You will find yourself saying things you didn't plan to say, and yet they will heal hearts and unlock destinies. This is not random inspiration. It is divine orchestration. The same anointing that protected you will now speak through you. You are a vessel of heaven's authority, and the evidence of your calling will soon be undeniable. The next revelation will unveil the prophetic symbol heaven will use to confirm your shift. You will recognize it instantly because your spirit will respond with peace and warmth the moment it appears. Wait for it, because what comes next will show that the hand of God is truly upon you. Type "I am walking into manifestation" in the comments if your soul feels this truth rising. Blessing code 9911 has now been activated to open doors long delayed. Beloved, you are entering the part of your journey where the invisible becomes undeniable. Everything that was once spiritual is beginning to translate into the tangible. The prayers you whispered in exhaustion are no longer hovering unanswered. They are now taking form in your reality. Heaven has remembered you, and Archangel Michael has not stepped away. He has simply shifted from defense to delivery. The same angel who once drew his sword to protect you now carries scrolls of fulfillment, instructions for divine alignment, and blessings that have matured in the unseen realm. You are about to see manifestations that will confirm every promise God ever spoke over you. The Spirit of God is saying, "This is the moment I have prepared you for." The season of hiddenness is ending, and the time of revealing has begun. You will begin to notice acceleration. Things that once took years will happen in days. Doors that were locked will open with a single conversation, and hearts that once turned away will now be drawn toward your light. This is the result of divine timing aligning with your obedience. You didn't give up when it was hard, and that endurance has become a key in heaven's hand. Archangel Michael has marked you as one who endured through the night, and because of that, a new authority rests upon you. You carry the frequency of victory, and darkness recognizes it. Remember when you felt unseen and unimportant. Those were not wasted moments. Those were the hidden places where God fortified your foundation. You were being trained to handle power with humility. Now that the time of revealing has come, you will move differently, not with pride, but with peace. You will speak with quiet certainty because you no longer need to prove yourself. Heaven already validated you. Every test you passed in silence has qualified you for this visibility, and those who once overlooked you will soon be unable to ignore you. Archangel Michael's message to you now is simple. Stand firm in truth. The attacks may try to return in subtler forms, distractions, doubt, comparison, but you must remember who fought for you. Every time fear whispers, remind yourself that your protection is not temporary. It is covenantal. You are sealed in light, and nothing can separate you from the purpose written over your name. The next steps you take will carry impact. People will find healing in your presence without even understanding why. The energy around you is no longer that of survival but of divine authority. God has chosen you to be a living demonstration of restoration. You are proof that what the enemy meant for evil, heaven turns for glory. The story you carry will unlock faith in those who have lost hope. You will notice that people are drawn to your peace, your endurance, your strength. It's not you they are drawn to. It's the anointing that came from your battle. You are walking evidence that God still intervenes, that angels still guard, and that light still conquers darkness. Stay close, because what comes next will reveal the prophetic sign, the undeniable confirmation that heaven has completed the battle over your destiny. This next revelation will help you recognize how to walk in your newly granted authority and guard what has been restored. Type "I carry the light of victory" in the comments if your spirit witnesses to this message. Blessing code 1007 has now been released and surrounds you with divine acceleration. Chosen messenger of light, you are now standing in a sacred transition. The same energy that once felt heavy is beginning to lift, and in its place, there is a calm that almost feels supernatural. That is not your imagination. It is the aftermath of divine warfare. When Archangel Michael blocked the attack meant to destroy you, he didn't only stop destruction, he shifted the balance of power in your life. The darkness that once surrounded you has lost its legal right to remain. You have been repositioned in the spirit, and everything connected to you is being renewed. Even the areas of your life that looked hopeless are now fertile with possibility. God is breathing life into what you thought was over. Look closely at what's happening around you. The patterns are changing. People are beginning to speak differently toward you. Paths that once resisted you are now opening. Your sleep has become deeper, your dreams clearer, and your intuition stronger. This is the evidence that the angelic realm is realigning your destiny. You are under divine surveillance, not in fear, but in grace. Archangel Michael is ensuring that every lingering shadow is removed from your environment. What once fed on your energy, your peace, and your progress has been silenced. The curse has been broken, and a new sound of victory echoes through your atmosphere. God is whispering, you will now walk in restoration. Every season of loss has prepared the ground for a greater harvest. The connections that left were not rejection, they were divine pruning. Heaven removed what could not grow with you. Now, your circle will be filled with alignment, not attachment. You will attract people of purpose, vision, and truth. The same light that frightened your enemies will draw divine partners into your orbit. This is the reward of faithfulness. You stood firm when everything tried to convince you to give up, and now heaven rewards your endurance. Do not be surprised when sudden opportunities appear, invitations, collaborations, or unexpected help from people you've never met. These are divine appointments, the fruit of your obedience. Archangel Michael's presence guarantees that no counterfeit door will deceive you. Every path that opens now has been cleared by heaven's command. You can walk forward with confidence, knowing that divine timing is at work. What you once chased is now chasing you. What you once prayed for is now searching for you. You have become magnetic to miracles. The Spirit of the Lord says that this next stretch of your life will carry the fragrance of grace. Peace will follow you like a shadow. You will speak and people will feel hope rise. You will walk and darkness will retreat. Even your silence will carry authority, because you have been anointed through adversity. The fire you endured was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to make your light visible in a world dimmed by despair. Hold your faith firm, because the final revelation is near. What comes next will not only seal the victory, but also release the blessing code that opens the door to generational favor. The closing message will carry the prophetic instruction that completes this journey, the moment where heaven confirms, once and for all, that your story was never meant to end in defeat. Type "I am restored by grace" in the comments if your heart feels this word burning within you. Blessing code 1109 has now been activated to seal your restoration and awaken divine abundance around your life. Beloved warrior of divine truth, you have reached the moment where heaven completes what it began. The night that once terrified you has now become your testimony. The same Archangel Michael who drew his sword to shield you has now placed a crown of light upon your spirit. You survived not by chance but by divine decree. Every battle, every loss, every sleepless night, all of it led you here. You are now walking in the full manifestation of the word God spoke when He said, "Your story is not over yet." What was meant to break you has become the very foundation of your authority. You are no longer the wounded one crying in the dark. You are the awakened one carrying heaven's fire into the world. The Spirit of God says this is the season of fulfillment. You will now begin to see promises materialize that once seemed distant. Where you faced rejection, honor will find you. Where you faced delay, acceleration will follow. The same divine hand that defended you in silence will now display your victory publicly. There will be people who come to you in disbelief, asking how you survived what should have destroyed you. You will tell them the truth, that you didn't fight alone. Heaven fought for you. Archangel Michael was sent to protect what God placed within you, and that protection has not lifted. It remains, guarding your purpose as you step into new dimensions of favor. You are stepping into a realm of divine visibility. What was hidden will now shine. The work you do, the words you speak, and the love you give will all carry an unusual weight of influence. This is because you carry the residue of divine warfare. the mark of one who was chosen and preserved. Even your presence now disrupts darkness. The places where you once trembled, you will now stand tall. The same fear that once silenced you will now bow before your faith. This transformation is your divine reward. God is releasing a command over your life. Go and rebuild. Rebuild your confidence. Rebuild your vision. Rebuild the dreams you buried when the attacks became too much. You are no longer operating from survival. You are living from strength. Heaven is expanding your territory. The blessings that once seemed delayed will now flow toward you like rivers after drought. Every seed of endurance you planted through pain will now bloom into abundance. The angels are rejoicing over your persistence, and the heavens are declaring that your name is written among the overcomers. Archangel Michael's message to you now is this: your story is not over because it was never meant to end in darkness. You are proof that divine mercy prevails. You are evidence that unseen battles can lead to visible miracles. And from this day forward, every morning you wake is another reminder that God's protection is not a moment. It is a mantle. Wear it proudly. Live with faith. Move with courage. And remember, what heaven has preserved, it cannot be destroyed. Before you close this message, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to remember that their story isn't finished, and comment below what part spoke to your spirit the loudest. Subscribe and stay connected so that heaven's voice can continue to find you in the noise of the world. Type "My story is not over" in the comments if you receive this final word. Blessing code 1212 has now been released to seal your testimony and awaken divine expansion over your life. And now, to every soul hearing this under the sound of this prophetic message, I want to speak to those who feel stirred to stand with the light that rescued them. When you give to this mission, you are not just supporting words, you are sowing into deliverance. Every seed you release becomes a weapon of light, breaking chains for others still trapped in spiritual warfare. God says, when you release what is in your hand, I will release what is in mine. Your giving fuels the message that heaven is still speaking, still fighting, still saving. You can stand with us through Super Thanks, by becoming a channel member, or through PayPal. The link is in the description below. Every act of faith becomes a declaration that light still wins. As you give, may rivers of divine provision flow into your home, may your health flourish, and may your peace multiply beyond understanding. The oil of archangelic protection will cover your steps, and the voice of heaven will guide your every move. Blessing code 1212 remains sealed over every giver, listener, and believer under this sacred message. Your story is not over. It is only beginning.